Welcome to NJCAA Hot Hoops. We're here. It's closing in on mid-March. We're into the region tournaments. Some people have already packed it in, Kenya, and it's gotten down to you either win in advance or you go home.
Yeah.
So, this is our second to the last show, by the way, for NJCAA Hot Hoops. And Kenya, this has been a good wild ride for us so far.
This has been
And
great.
the end will be at the Ford Wyoming Center in Casper here in a couple of weeks on the 26th of March. That'll be the opening round. And but boy, there's a lot of work to be done between now and then, isn't there?
Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Can't jump too far ahead, huh?
No, there's going to be some heartbreak going on now. I'm telling you. But we touched on about 4 or 5 games in last week's program in respect to what might be good games coming up. Some teams, like in Kansas, had only played, well, they had one more game left in their season. So, but we touched base on a few teams. Number one, Hutch, who stayed number one. They're still undefeated. But they got a run from Garden City. Garden City hung in there 74-64. But nobody has had an answer all year for freshman Kiki Smith,
I don't know if there is one.
Yeah, maybe not, but she stuck 6 threes on Garden, had 28 points. So she has been a steady rock for Hutch among their many that they have. But she's really stepped her game up from day one to go and really compete for Hutch.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Colin, we thought maybe 2 ranked teams, Colin at 4 and Temple at 23. We're maybe thinking Temple might give them a run, but they didn't really. It was 96-80. Colin remained at number 4. And obviously the strength of their backcourt, like we've been talking about since day one. Mackenzie Buss, one of the best 5'4" point guards that's out there, can really fill it up, get downhill, get into the basket, into the key, distribute, finish plays. She had 31. Her running mate over there on the wing, Waida Jennings, had 29. So you do the math. That's a lot of points. That's 60 of their 96.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's their strength.
Yep.
And the guards game is at full strength with Colin, So Trinity Valley, they put the gas on Jacksonville.
Well, they were fighting for, they were fighting for co-conference champions. I bet they did put the gas on it.
They did. And,
it made it without question from the start.
Yeah, leaving no doubt, right?
Right.
Yep. So the backcourt tandem, and they got a bunch of guards now at Trinity. Yeah. April Edwards sticks 29. Imani Jenkins, who's come back, 27. But they made, between each of them, 12 threes.
Yeah.
So it was a green light from the get-go, and Jacksonville was just simply outmatched. You can't compete with Trinity Valley. And another game we talked about there in the Mississippi, Louisiana area, number 11, Pearl River. We thought new Northeast Mississippi might give them a better run. Northeast Miss, they're like 19-10 going into this game the other night, and they got smacked. What was it, 83-45? Yeah. So, what are you going to do? You got a match by Pearl River. Yep. And another new player that we haven't really talked about, Avery Young, sticks 36. Comes out of nowhere. So maybe that's a player that's running under the radar. They get to the national tournament, make some hay,
Yep.
New Mexico, they're hanging at number 9 this week. They stayed at 9. We thought Clarendon maybe give them a run. Clarendon's got some talent. But New Mexico stuck 100 on them.
Scored a lot of points, both sides.
Yeah, and they put numbers up. And our fabulous freshman forward, Panaya Davis from Australia, 14 and 12 boards. And our phenom from Angola, Keisha Antonio.
Yeah.
13 boards, 7 assists. So that was impressive.
Yeah.
You know,
You know
these
what I like
teams,
about these scores this week? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
know,
But remember we talked last week about these games being, these last games, like you got some teams that are just fighting to survive and fighting to get in. And my hats go off to those top ranked teams that took care of their business. We didn't have any major upsets, which it doesn't always go that way. Maybe they listened to the show last week and
yeah, there you go.
and got on the kids and made sure they were ready. But there were some closer games, but still the teams that were supposed to win took care of business. And so that's encouraging for me as we head into the regional tournament.
Well, some teams peaking at the right time. They're really refining their game. The kids are in, they're bought in.
Yep.
They know what they got to do, and they're really executing well. Field goal percentage goes up, numbers go up.
Yep.
You know, TOs go down. You know, so we're off to the region tournament play, and we're gonna have some interesting games, I believe, a few of which that have already started. But when we come back on NJCA Hot Hoops, we're going to talk about upload, and we're going to concentrate on some interesting matchups that are going to be coming up when we come right back.
Let's do it.
Intensity fuels these champion student athletes to greatness. Zurich Insurance is proud to be the official provider of student athlete insurance for the National Junior College Athletic Association. Throughout the highs, we cheer along to their screams of victory. Throughout the lows, we support them through their tears of defeat. Zurich Insurance, helping student athletes play the sport they love.
Okay, we're back. Kenya Landers, Dan Olson, NJCA Hot Hoops. Kenya, we're talking upload, and we've got some interesting matchups throughout the country, and I've kind of like targeted around 7 different regions throughout the U.S. that we've talked about maybe many a time, maybe not others. But we've got some good matchups coming up, and they either have already started, as in Shelton State, I believe, has already zipped up their deal to go to Kansas. But we've got some money games, right? As you said.
Go big or go home.
That's right. Region 5. Let's start right off with New Mexico. They're playing Cisco. That should be an easy game for them. Against Collin, and then the next game in their bracket, Collin and South Plains.
Yeah.
So that next game, if everything works out correctly, you've got number 4 Collin playing number 9 New Mexico on that side of the bracket. That's a tough region.
That is a tough region.
Because then we got Odessa playing Temple. There's 2 ranked teams.
Yeah.
And then the winner of that's going to play McLennan Clarendon winner. So you're going to have 4 ranked teams into the semis out of that region. So hang on to your hats.
Yeah.
This is good stuff, on the hot seat today, we're going to have the one and only Luke Scheidecker from Wabash Valley, who is averaging 103 plus a game with his team, leading the country in scoring. They're into region play. They're in region 24. He should get by only. And then they play the winner of the Vincennes Southwestern Illinois game.
They just played Vincennes, right? Recently, didn't they?
They did. They did. My money's on Wabash.
No doubt.
Yeah. They just rock. They go. They got one speed, pressure, convert, pressure some more,
Make you
And,
real uncomfortable. Real
yeah,
uncomfortable.
you got to be on your game, the tip.
Yep.
As we talked about Shelton State, they won their region and they've already advanced. They beat Wallace State, but they snuck by Wallace State only by 60-58, by the way. Yeah, so
all it takes is one.
yeah, and their star guard Adriana Jones had 22 in that win. So look, you throw these records out the window.
Right, right.
You don't know what's going to happen. You got to come to play, right?
I feel like I know what's going to happen in Region 6, though. No shade, but I just feel like Hutch is just on another level right now.
Yeah, they might be on a mission. They're playing Cloud County to start the Region 6 tournament. And then they play the winner of Coffeyville Barton if they get by Cloud.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Butler playing Seward. You got Garden City playing Dodge City. Garden City kind of trying to be the upsetter, and spoiler out of this thing. But it could come down to, Hutch and Dodge again.
Yeah. And when I say I feel like I know what's going to happen in that region, that's not any disrespect to the others, but I'm just looking at Hutch, like their body of work that they've done all year and how they just continue to get up and get up and get up and continue to grow. Like they are legit playing championship basketball with a lot of other people, but they are moving at a different level.
Yeah. So the way they do this now, instead of just playing at one site, their initial 4 games are at home sites of those teams. At Hutch, at Barton, at Butler, at Dodge. And then they go to Hutch. So Hutch got a home advantage once they get by that, they do already. But this has been a tough region. I mean, there have been ranked teams that aren't in this right now.
Yeah.
And there's good teams that, have fallen by the wayside, but they could surprise somebody.
Oh yeah.
So, all right. So I'm going to be at Region 8. I'm going to be in Florida. I got to get some sunshine, right?
You.
Yeah. But look, you got some loaded teams here. You got Northwest Florida State on their home court playing Florida Southwestern, who we really haven't spoke much about. But they've got a formidable team. And then you got on that same side of the bracket, you got Eastern Florida State and Hillsborough. So you got number 5 playing number 7 possibly in a semifinal round. And then the other side of that, you got number 3 Gulf Coast playing Santa Fe, who's had a good year with a new coach, Russ Jackson. And then you got number 20 Chipola playing Indian River. Indian River always gives people a hard time. Northwest Florida State over the last few years, they've won the thing nationally, but they've kind of sputtered out of the gate a little bit in their own region. They keep people guessing to begin with, and then voila, they start to figure it out, So we've got, and we talked about last week, we got Pensacola sitting at home, who was a ranked team. This is crazy,
Wow.
So, but you got some real good talent there in Region 8. So we'll see how that shakes out. Region 18. We've had Salt Lake's coach on before, Marcy Grayer, in previous shows, and they're hosting it on the 15th and 16th of March. And they're going to play Utah State Eastern. And then Southern Nevada plays Southern Idaho. So you're going to have probably 2 nationally ranked teams going at it to get to Casper there. So that should be an interesting region as well. And then we're going to go down to Trinity Valley, Region 14. I think you're probably familiar with, right?
A little bit.
Yeah. Paris has struggled this year. They're not going to handle Trinity Valley.
Yeah.
And then you got Panola and Kilgore. Now Kilgore's been, they upset the cart there for a while.
Mhm.
And then on the other side, you got Tyler and Blinn. Blinn's been ranked. And then you got Angelina and Coastal Bend. So, and they're playing this at Tyler. So, Tyler's been a spoiler in years past, and heck, they snuck in and won the national title there a few years ago.
Yeah.
And so, you never know what's going to happen.
I think this
Angelina could be a
region-
dark horse out of this,
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. I think this region is the one for me that is a big question mark. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like the other ones we can kind of narrow it down, but Region 14, they've all just beat up on each other all season. And so any of the teams that are remaining, they're legit contenders to beat their opponent. It's just been that kind of year, whether it's been injuries or, it's just been a wild year for Region 14, which, I mean, it's always kind of wild out east, but
Yeah.
it's fun to see who's gonna come out of there.
Yeah. I mean, look, Blinn, Angelina, Kilgore,
Yeah,
they get hot, shoot the ball well, things could really get messed up.
no doubt.
So that's gonna be interesting. Let's not forget about our D2 side.
Yes.
We had Ben Conrad on the show
Yeah.
and beforehand, and he's continued his wicked ways. He's 31-0 and still number one. Right behind him, Kirkwood 31-2, Iowa Western 31-2, both from Iowa, Rock Valley 33-0, and Essex from Baltimore 25-6. So you got an interesting plan now going on in Division II to see who makes it out to Missouri. They're playing that, I believe, in Bolivar, Missouri this year. Okay. And so, Kirkwood has won this thing many a time. Mm-hmm. I want to say 6 or 7. And, Essex won it last year. Johnson County's won it before. You got some normalcy there with people that have been there before and know how to do it,
Right.
So we're going to see how that plays out. It's just an exciting time, It is. And this is what it's all about. So, yeah. Look, when we come back, Kenya, we're going to talk Wabash Valley basketball with Luke Scheidecker.
Let's go, Luke. Let's go, Luke.
He's awesome.
He's so awesome.
We are. We're going to be right back with NJCAA Hot Hoops and Luke when we come back.
As the second largest intercollegiate athletic association in the country, the NJCAA serves not only a pivotal role in college athletics, but in higher education. The NJCAA Foundation aims to move the association forward through resources, grant programs, and other special initiatives. Your gift to the NJCAA Foundation will make a difference and create opportunities.
And we're back with NJCAA Hot Hoops. And on the hot seat today, Luke Scheidecker, head coach, Wabash Valley College in beautiful Mount Carmel, Illinois. Luke, you're the man.
Let's go, Mount Carmel. Let's go.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Glad to be here.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
Well, you've been rocking and rolling for a long time at Wabash with a little stint in between there, but tell us about your team overall right now. We've alluded to your team before as being all gas, no brakes.
Yep.
You put up some serious numbers. And correct me if I'm wrong. Are you leading the country in scoring?
Yes, I believe so. Yep. I
Yeah,
think we're right
you're
around
over
that
100 a
100.
game. I know that. So
Yep. Right around 103, I think, somewhere around there. So
Hey, that would get Michael Landers excited now. He didn't care about defense, but he wanted to score the ball.
yeah,
let's go. Let's go.
yeah.
Push your transition. Use your God-given talents, and let's play in pace. So
I love it.
So I know the whole city of Mount Carmel is in the gym then, since you're sticking 103 a game or so. So you know, what else is there to do in that beautiful city, right? But hoop.
Yep. I mean, go to school, come play basketball.
Exactly.
That's kind of the selling point here. And our kids love it. That's one of the things I love about Wabash Valley, Mount Carmel is, we've had a ton of kids leave here and sign all over the country, and they all miss Mount Carmel. And Mount Carmel's a smaller town, but they support it really well. The community, the school, everyone loves it here, and that's what makes this place special.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Small college environment, man. It's got something to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. They're taken care of. They're treated right, by the community, by the school, by the faculty, by administration. And, that's what makes Wabash special.
Yeah. No, I love it. I love it. Look, man, you're number 2 in the poll. And I know you got a big game coming up here in your region before you make your attempt to get to Casper. Why don't you elaborate a little bit on that? Who do you got? Who do you play next?
Yeah. So, our district tournament, the semifinals right now are Vincennes plays Swick, and then we play only Central. And then the winners will meet, in the finals. Vincennes is a 2 seed. They provide a really good test. Destiny Hooks is playing incredible basketball right now.
Mhm.
I think over the last month she's averaging close to probably 25 a game.
Nice.
Agreed.
Extremely talented. So it's a good test for us. Gonna have to compete, gonna have to play our style. Dictate the pace of the game. And be ready to play 4 quarters. That's what we continue to talk about. Is putting 4 quarters together, and not 2, not 3, putting all 4 together.
Yeah. So you were talking about playing your style. Obviously, we know you guys like to get up and down the floor. And that's one thing that I appreciated as a player, when coaches had their system, but they let me be me within the system. And I heard you talk about that earlier. So talk about that with us a little bit throughout your season. How have you guys developed? Because it seems like you guys are going and peaking right at the right time, right? So how have you guys talk about your schedule a little bit, some tough matchups y'all may have had, and just, I'm just curious how we've gotten to this point.
Yeah. So I mean, we have incredible players here. Our guard play is phenomenal. We have our post players are active. They're mobile.
Can't win without the guards.
The guards are the key too. I'll always say that. I'll always say if you got a good guard player, you're gonna have a chance.
That's right.
And I love our guards. I mean, they're really good. I mean, they're quick. They're playmakers. This year, which we haven't had as much in the past, is they can all shoot the basketball, which for me is a great added element. Is because you get downhill, you play off 2, you kick out, get open 3s. We started working on that day 1. Our offense, putting up crazy numbers, but our defense leads to our offense. That's what we talk about all the time. Is us getting stops, us creating turnovers. I think we lead the country in steals as well, and that's because we're going to pressure the basketball, be up the line, denying, playing really, really fast. Make or miss, we want to run. All coaches say they want to score in the first 7 seconds. But we practice that every single day. I mean, that is our DNA. That is our staple. I don't want our guards. They're too gifted to walk it up and, do that. Like we want to run. Like we want to put them in space and make plays. And they've done a great job doing that. We got really good early season tests with playing 3 Rivers, Mineral Area, and that made us better for now. And we tweaked different things and I've grown from that.
Yeah. I really appreciate you guys keeping the pace. I mean, you got to have the Jimmies and Joes to play those types of X's and O's, right? But you know, one thing that I've just noticed that the pace of the game, even watching the NCAA, it's so slow. A lot of the games are just so slow. But you know, like I said, there's a lot of things that can come into play to be able to play at that pace. So that has to be fun for your kids.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love to score the basketball? You
Right.
know, and you're right. You know, the pace at the Division 1 level has been slower, right? And we talked to our kids about that transition from making that jump to the next level.
Mhm.
But you look at Marshall, great example. Kim Caldwell just took over there. Was at Glenville State. We had quite a few players go to Glenville. You know, and they press, they run up and down. You know, shoot a lot of threes, play really fast. You know, and they had an incredible season this summer. That can translate over. You know, that style of play. You just have to have the right players to do it, and you have to be in good enough shape. I mean,
Yeah.
that's where I commend our players is just they bought into what we're doing, right? Because you have to be in shape to play this way. You know, you got to be able to run up and down, fly around defensively, pressing. You know, and that's what they've done. They bought in. They've been focused on it. You know, and it's translated. They've had great success, and you know, they've grown.
I love that. I love it. So you guys are getting ready, like you said, to come up on, did you say the game before the championship to make it
Yep,
to,
yep. The semis.
yeah.
Yes.
So talk about the prep now. I mean, it's a little different. It's a little different feel, right? And the,
Yep.
you know, thankfully we have the at-large bids and that now. But just talk about how you still want to do what you've been doing all year. You don't want to recreate the wheel, right? But I mean, it's a different feel right now, knowing that you're playing to reach your goal for the season.
Yeah, and we would talk about it. It's championship season, right? Now is every possession gets magnified. You know, we talk about it all the time is every possession matters. Now every possession more. You know, offense and defense. You know, not picking up a silly foul 94 feet away from the rim. You know, not taking bad shots. You know, making good reads. You know, taking care of the basketball. It all gets amplified at this time of the year. You know, I always said the higher you go, the bigger the game, the more you know your weaknesses get exposed, right? And that's what we're working on getting better at. Is you know fine tuning our weaknesses and getting it to the point where, hey, you know, it becomes something where we're solid at or even a strength.
Yeah.
So you're right. I mean, these games are huge. You know, everyone's competing for championships this time of year. You know, and it's time to really lock in. You know, we've said it for the last 3-4 weeks. It's time to really focus. You know, our kids have bought into that, committing to making even more shots a week than we already did. You know, and just having that championship mentality.
Awesome. I'm so excited for you guys.
Who's your leaders on your team?
Yeah, so I mean, you know, it starts with our sophomores. You know, our guard play with Aaliyah Smith and Corinne Brunson. You know, Aaliyah is incredibly talented. You know, and one of the best playmakers in the country. You know, she always makes the right reads. You know, she's kind of the engine. She's the competitor. She's the one who gets the team fired up. I mean, she's fun to watch. You know, when she's making plays, we're really hard to stop. You know, Corinne Brunson, she was here last year, so she knows the system, understands what her culture is. You know, and kind of lays the tone for that. You know, and her game has grown so much since she's got here.
Yeah, and she was a heck of a good high school player in Indiana.
Yeah, one of those kids
As was Aaliyah Smith, you
yes.
know, in Wisconsin. Both of them outstanding guards.
Yes, I mean, and that's what I tell people about Corinne is, you know, Corinne has won everywhere she's been. You know, she took second in the state of Indiana in Class 4A, which is a huge. I mean, Class 4A is the biggest in Indiana. And Indiana high school basketball is really good. You know, the team took second, so you know she's a winner, and that magnifies through our whole group. You know, she keeps the standards. You know, our freshman guards have stepped up too. Shemaiah Reed, beautiful Wahid. You know, they've grown and just continue to get better and better. I mean, you know, and they're just playmakers. You know, you can't keep them in front of them and they can make shots. So it's a hard combination to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wahid, we talked about Wahid before. Remember Kenya?
Yep.
And love the name, but she's got some game to go with the name.
He does.
Good, because I don't like when they have these flash names and they can't play.
Yeah.
Crazy athletic. I mean, she can put on the floor. She can shoot. You know, like they say, her bag's pretty good. Like she can go, you know, and score at all three levels. You know, she's one of the more talented freshmen in the whole country.
And Chloe Dallas, a transfer from Odessa, reinvented herself back to her normal self, I think.
Yes, I saw Chloe in high school. You know, on the circuit a lot. You know, Chloe was a hot commodity out of high school.
Yes.
You know, went to Odessa, battled some injuries, but this is the Chloe we saw in high school. You know, she's 6'3", she's mobile, she's athletic, she's skilled. You know, she's a matchup problem. You know,
And she can
defensively
stretch
too.
out to the arc.
Yes, yep. And defensively, she can switch anything. You know, like that's hard to find. You know, and
Sure
you know, that's
is.
what makes it versatile too. You know, and one of our other freshman post players is stepping up too, Nakai Harris, who's you know grown a ton, and I'm excited to see her development too. But Chloe is just has taken that next step. You know, of getting back to her old self. She said it to me a couple times throughout the years. Like I feel like I'm back to where I was before.
Good for her.
Yeah, good, good. I'll tell you what, you've rolled, man, since you've been there. The 30 win thing has become a normality for you at Wabash. Um, when do you start? Do you start them right out of the gate, like early? You know, I mean, I know everybody's anxious to play, you know, when they get there, but do you kind of give them time? I mean, it's a long season. How do you gauge all that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a long year, but I firmly believe the first 2 months establish your culture, right? Your standards, you know, what you expect every day. We get after it. I mean, I firmly believe in competing. You know, that's what has made Wabash special throughout the years is the level of competition we bring in every day at practice. You're not just going to go through the motion and do drills every day. It's we're going to compete, go head to head, and competition makes you better. You know, especially when you have good players. You know, when you compete every day, you're going to see results. You're gonna get better. So as soon as we get here, you know, even in pickup, it's compete, compete, compete. You know, that's our motto here is we're going to go at it, and we're going to get better from it. We're going to play as hard as can be, you know, and you're going to be held to the standard of you know playing hard, doing the right things, you know, and executing. You know, we talk about it all the time. We have 3 E's here at Wabash. Before every game. The 3 E's are energy, effort, execute. If we bring energy, you bring effort, and you execute, we're gonna have a chance to win every single game the entire year. And we preach that. You know, our energy level always has to be high. If the way we're gonna play, you can't come in out bad energy, bad body language. You've got to bring it. You know, the bench has to be hyped. It's a team thing. You know, and then we're max effort all the time. And then we have to execute. You know, like we talked about, our number one job here at Wabash is to prepare them for the next level. It's not to win games. You know, I tell people that all the time. If we prepare you, we will win games. Those two go hand in hand. You know, but at the end of the day, if we want them to be ready, so when they get to their next school, that they're like, I've done this before. I'm used to this. You know, and you know, so that they're ready to compete at the next level. You know, and play well and and do well and get a degree at the end of the day.
Coach,
You know,
if this was a recruiting, if this is a recruiting visit, I'm signing with you right now.
yes. So
you got me ready.
yeah, I mean, hey, and that's exactly what we tell kids because, you know, at the end of the day, it's not about just coming here and winning games. That's great,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
But it's so much bigger than basketball. You know, and that's one of the things that, like, you know, as a head coach, I'm most proud of is that our kids have left here and had success. You know, they move on to the next level, and then I sit with my children, my kids, and my fiance, and we watch them at night, and you know, they're on ESPN Plus, killing it, and you know, that's nothing's cooler than that for us. So that's fun to see them grow. And then when they leave, and then you talk to them about you know how things are going all the time. You know, that's what it's about. You know, winning games is great, but at the end of the day, like I want to see them go on further themselves, advance, and then get a degree. You know, and move on, do bigger things.
Yeah. Well said, man.
Well
That's
said.
it. That is what it's all about. Enjoying watching them grow and prosper in an individual format.
Yes, 100%, 100%.
Yeah. Kenya, what else you got?
Man, I'm just ready to play. Like
Yeah,
I think
me too.
I can see
Me
if I
too.
got about I don't need a whole year. I just need about 3 weeks.
Yeah,
I
hey,
got 3 weeks left.
come to practice. We'll get you in shape real quick. I promise you that. The first couple of days
believe
may
it.
be rough. You know, that's what I always tell girls like, hey, you better come in shape now. because you've
Right.
got
Yeah.
somebody in shape. It's gonna be a long first month.
Don't
Like,
get embarrassed.
yeah, your body's gonna be hurting. The training room's gonna be every day. So
Well,
yes.
Coach, man, good luck to you guys. Just so excited to see what you guys gonna do, how you're gonna shake it up, and we hope to see you at the national tournament.
Well, I appreciate it. And thank you guys for, I watch every week and, appreciate all you guys do for the game and for junior college specifically.
Yeah.
It's great. And, Dan, I see you, I feel like all throughout the year at events.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much for all you do, and promoting these young women and, helping them get to the next level as well.
Absolutely.
We're delighted to have
Honored
had
to
you
be-
on. And look, you're a fixture in junior college basketball now. And so you can't go away. You're stuck now. You gotta be here. You're a
Right
fixture.
here.
And but you succeed. You're fun to watch. Your teams are really enjoyable to watch. You're enjoyable to watch on the sidelines, of course.
Hey, I do get a little fired up every now and then.
Yes, you do.
Just every now and then. So that's not how I'm off. That's not how I'm off the floor. Is the craziest thing, though. It's like I have a switch. From practice and games, I have a switch to just kind of different guy. So
Hey, you gotta play your role. You gotta do your part.
got to.
I
So
love it.
And I know that you'll be ready. We'll look forward to seeing you hopefully in Casper. And best of luck the rest of the way. Thanks for being on the hot seat, Luke.
awesome. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Luke. Good luck.
All right, we'll see you.
Intensity fuels these champion student athletes to greatness. Zurich Insurance is proud to be the official provider of student athlete insurance for the National Junior College Athletic Association. Throughout the highs, we cheer along to their screams of victory. Throughout the lows, we support them through their tears of defeat. Zurich Insurance, helping student athletes play the sport they love.
Piece for the day, Kenya. Anything mailbag related? Any questions other than what we're maybe going to next talk about?
Pretty much our questions have just been consistent. Who do you think is going to make it to Casper, Wyoming? Why are we playing in Casper, Wyoming? How long does it take to get to Casper, Wyoming? And so that's been pretty consistent. I think our fans are just ready for the national tournament because all they want to talk about is Casper, Wyoming. So,
well, I'll tell you what, like I've said many a time before, the parity piece of this thing is going to be crazy. I mean,
right.
We really don't know who's going to be the national champion, whereas years past, we could bet on Trinity Valley showing up in the finals, or Northwest or somebody, Gulf Coast, over the years. But it's going to be, it's really going to be fun, So I'm going to be out there for 4 days, and we're going to see some good basketball.
Absolutely.
But next week will be our last show. And so what we're going to do is we're going to unveil, you and I, the top 10 best players in JUCO women's basketball over the last 5 years. We don't want to go all the way through.
Okay.
We want to break it in segments,
Yep.
And we want you to come back for more. We want our fan base to come back for more, right? So, but I've got a list right now of about 20 that I've gone through.
Yeah.
And we're going to do a little reconnaissance on each one of them between now and next week.
Yeah.
And see who's done well post JUCO. Because that's maybe a little bit of the criteria. But then really the heart of it is, what did they do when they were playing those 2 years of JUCO? How consistent were they? How did they play on both ends of the floor? You know, what type of qualities did they bring to their team?
Did you win
And,
a natty?
exactly. Did you win it? Did you, did you get the thing done a la Danielle Adams from a few weeks ago?
Yeah, yeah,
There was no doubt when she was on the floor,
that's
right?
right.
And so, this will be kind of a cool ending to our season one of NJCAA Hot Hoops. So, let's sign off. Let's keep it at that. Next week, our top 10 from the last 5 years, 2018 to 2023. And Kenya, anything else?
I think you should have went back to 1998 when I was playing so that I could have. I don't
Well,
think
we're
I
gonna get
can. I'm
we're
just
gonna
kidding.
get there.
I would not have been top 10 players. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, we're gonna get there sooner or later. We'll hit the 98 number. So,
fun show, Dan. As always, it's always so fun to get on here and promote JUCO women's basketball. I have heard so much great feedback from so many different people that have nothing to do with JUCO women's basketball. It's soccer people, softball. They just love the fact that we're promoting women's sports. And so thank you so much for just being super excited and proud to be a part of that. And I'm glad I've been on the ride with you.
man, me too. This has been a great thing for the both of us. Enjoyed it
Absolutely.
tremendously.
Yeah.
So until next week, Kenya,
Peace.
NJCAA Hot Hoops. I'll catch you next week.
Bye.